In this video, I'll share how I finally came up with 4 projects that use an Arduino protoshield. Learn with me as I learn. I started a project that was worth moving from a breadboard and onto a protoshield. It was an IR remote controlled car. Before I started this project, I also purchased a smart car kit. It was very easy to assemble, and I thought that the car was too big, so I was disappointed with the experience. However, to be fair, I think the point of these kits is to introduce us to basic concepts and components, and that leads to next steps. So my next step was to make a slightly smaller version of this. That's when I realized that a protoshield was a big part of how I could achieve this. I thought about which protoshield to use. This shield wasn't going to work for me because the female header pins were already soldered onto the board. My official Arduino shield wasn't an option because it cost $14 and I wasn't willing to waste it on this project. I wanted something like the official Uno shield that came without the headers pre-soldered, but was laid out like this one and was also inexpensive. I looked online and I found these, and they looked promising. A pack of 9 Uno protoshields that came without the header pins pre-soldered and provided 3 different layouts. The biggest attraction was the price, $15. That's around $1.50 per shield. I'll show you how I coded the project, the parts I used, the layout, schematics, and how it works. But first, let me quickly tell you about the other 3 uses I discovered for a protoshield. I used my $24 official Arduino Uno as I was learning about how to make a remote controlled car. One day, I wasn't focused and I moved some pins around and powered the board, and zap, I fried the board. I was pretty disappointed, but this led me to try and troubleshoot the board. I looked at the Uno schematics and Arduino's official guide, and this led me to making my own Uno on a breadboard. My Atmega 328 chip was still working, and I got an idea. Why not use the $14 official Arduino Uno protoshield? You know, the one I didn't want to waste? Use that to make my own replacement Uno. Salvage my fried official board by moving it to an official Uno protoshield. If there was a project that warranted using a $14 shield, then salvaging a $24 board on a $14 shield was the project. It just made sense for me. I'm almost done with the breadboard version of this project, and the version I am prototyping tries to use as much of the components from the official Uno. I won't get into that project in this video because I want to make a separate video just for that. I did quite a bit of research for this. Finding the correct parts and part numbers was not that easy. I found bits and pieces of information here and there, but currently there isn't one page that has all of the info in one place. And this led me to another idea. I created a new page about it on my VideotronicMaker site. It's one page that has all of the parts, part numbers, and values. I'll also share it in that video where I'll make my own Arduino. Because of the things I just mentioned, I think it'll be different from the other DIY Arduino videos and still be helpful. So now that I've revealed my plans, I better hurry up and finish that project. But let's get to the next 2 uses for a protoshield. The 3rd and 4th uses for incorporating a protoshield are similar, so I'll combine them. I wanted to start learning MicroPython. I had an ESP8266 that I got for free when I bought a DHT22 temperature sensor. I also bought a $4 Raspberry Pi Pico, which was not actually $4, it was like 8, but okay. These tiny boards can be very tricky to work with because they don't stay in place. I looked up Pico development boards, and of course, they each have their own form factor. I wanted to have a development board, but again, I needed to save money. I looked at my new pack of protoshields and I had an idea. Why keep using different form factors and buy new accessories? Why not just try to use one form factor for as long as possible? So I built these two dev boards on the new Uno protoshield. Now my Pico and ESP8266 fit in my Uno tray. I can use my official Uno case that I got from Arduino. VideotronicMaker. I can also use my 3D printed Uno cases for them. I also added some other custom features. I won't go into detail here about this, but I hope to make a video on those very soon. Okay, now let me show you the IR remote controlled car project using an Uno protoshield. This was originally a project from chapter 4 of Jeremy Blum's book Exploring Arduino. The last project in this chapter is building an autonomous car that follows light. It's a great chapter that introduces transistors, voltage regulators, DC motors, H bridges, reading a schematic, and other great lessons. I built the project on a breadboard and recreated the layout using fritzing. I decided to take it off of the breadboard and use a protoshield. It was my first time creating a circuit on a shield, so I chose one and gave it a shot. I tried to come up with a way to map this all out, the layout, the wiring, how I would do everything. I thought I could use software to plan the layout for the circuit, but it wasn't that easy, so I just decided to place the components on the shield. I visualized the layout and I soldered as I thought best. I did use both sides of the board and utilized the existing traces as much as possible. I 3D printed a chassis instead of purchasing another one. I put it all together and it worked. Rock the beat. That's how I made this shield. However, while all of this was fun, a car that follows light is not fun. VideotronicMaker.
Don't fall off the table, okay? Don't fall off the table. Just follow the light. All right, stay. Over here. Come here. All right. Come on. I don't have to do it for you. You know how to do it. You know how to do it. You're a smart car. You're such a smart car. Look at you. You're such a smart car. I don't have to turn you around. You just follow the light. You just follow the light. Huh? Yeah. Oh, this is so much fun. This is so much fun. Look at your little eyes. Look at your little eyes following the light. Oh, yeah. You're a smart car. You're so smart. You should be on the honor roll. You're on the honor roll. You're so smart.
To be fair, Blum gives you enough to get you started, but leaves you ready for more. I think that's a great way to teach. I wanted to do more. So I went back to the smart car kit for inspiration and realized I could sort of recreate this on one shield. So instead of a car that follows light, I decided to make an IR remote controlled car. I made a new prototype on a breadboard and recreated the layout and schematic using fritzing. Here are the parts that I used. One Arduino Uno, one protoshield, male header pins, one 7805 5-volt voltage regulator, one heatsink for the regulator, one L29 3D dual H-bridge motor driver and its IC socket, two 50-volt 10 microfarad electrolytic capacitors, one IR receiver, I ended up using a different receiver, but I'll talk about that later. You can also use one like this if you like. One remote, one 9-volt battery and the battery clip, two 4-pin female headers, solid core hookup wires, two 3 to 6 volt geared DC motors, the nuts, bolts, brackets, and wires for the DC motors, two wheels, and a 3D printed chassis. The first version used this IR receiver, but it didn't seem right to solder this component onto the shield. And it was actually just, it was too nice. And I think these are made for just, quickly using jumper pins and just, you doing your initial prototype and, not for making anything permanent. I mean, you could, but I didn't want to mess this up. So I decided to use this one instead, and I added the LED indicator for the IR receiver. So I thought about whether or not to start with a new shield and make an entirely different board, but it seemed like it'd be a waste of components, shields, and money. I looked again to the smart car kit, and I noticed that the kit did have all 3 versions assembled as one unit: IR remote, obstacle avoidance, and ultrasonic sensor. All you have to do is upload that particular sketch for whichever version you want. I based my code heavily on the smart car kit. I just changed the H-bridge component to an L293D and renamed a few things. Here's the layout. The IR receiver that I used in my fritzing layout is not the same receiver that I actually used in the end. This is the receiver that I actually used. The pinouts are different between the two. Here are the pinouts for this one. The left pin is data, the sensor pin is ground, and the right pin is 5 volts. I decided to just add the IR receiver to the existing board and not waste any components or money. So I'll do that now. It's tricky. Recording, soldering, soldering. All right. Cool. But not these. Come on, baby, not those. All right, not those. And this guy. All right. Yes. Good. All right. It's time for a haircut. Feel like a surgeon. Boosh. Boosh. That should work. I'm going to just go for it. Now, let's see if it works. Don't fry.
Rock the beat.
I knew I would never use the light following version of this car, but I had another idea. There's 12 available pins left. For a future project, I can use the photoresistors to make automatic headlights that turn on when it gets dark. I can also add this Night Rider feature and activate it with the remote. And maybe I can also add a horn by using a piezo buzzer and also activate that with the remote. I'm not going to do all of that now, but this shield has potential. So another thing I realized about protoshields is it's possible to continue soldering new components to the same shield. I'm sure others have made the same or more complex cars, but I wanted to explore uses for protoshields. This is a journey that I hope will continue on and will result in project and video updates. I hope you learned with me as I learned. Please consider subscribing to this channel and click like if you enjoyed this. Also consider clicking the notification button if you're interested in the soon to come DIY Uno and Pico dev board videos. Learn with me as I learn.
VideotronicMaker.
Thanks for watching.